Hey everybody,
Hey
it's Chris
everybody.
and Tony,
Hey everybody.
back with another
Hey
review
everybody.
for the
Hey
TigerSox
everybody.
series of the Blue Collar Beer Gourmet.
How you doing?
How you doing?
Up in here.
And today is the
Hi.
second to last review of the Hoosier beers that
That's
my
right.
man Chris sent me. Chris in Indiana. If you want to follow him on Instagram, I don't think he's on Tumblr, but he is on Instagram. He is on Untapped. His name is Mr. Gone V6, and he's good about sending me Hoosier beers from Indiana. We trade beers back and forth. Uh, the long and short of it is he gets the short end of the stick because Vegas is a beer desert. So I
Yeah.
get good beers and he gets the best beers I can find. So
And,
that's kind of how it
and
works out.
evidently Indianapolis is teeming with
Indeed. And in fact, it's teaming with breweries that use cans. And those who
beer.
watch the channel regularly will know that at least I give high marks to
Yeah.
cans.
I'm
Um,
50-50. Come on.
According to Beer
I'm squeaky
Advocates,
today too.
in blind taste test, almost all of us prefer cans
Well,
to
you
everything
know.
else. So, but this is the 18th Sun SUN from Sun King Brewing and 18th Street Brewing. It's a collaborative effort. This is a double IPA,
Yes.
Imperial Wheat IPA. So I'm looking really forward to this.
Imperial Wheat IPA. I am an IPA. That's my favorite style of beer.
Exactly.
So
Yeah,
I'm
we were both
stoked.
IPA fans. This is
Yep.
this is groovy. And went to Beer Advocate to find out the information about this. There's no IBUs. There's no
It's a mystery
ABV,
can. Yeah.
and it does at least have a brewed on date of September the 2nd. So this is not an old beer by any stretch of the imagination. But Beer Advocate says it has an 8.7. Believe it or not, Beer Advocate only has one review, so it doesn't even have a BA score yet. I guess you have to have, and I didn't know this because I'd never come across a beer that didn't have 10 reviews, but if it doesn't have 10 reviews, it doesn't get a Beer Advocate score. However, the one guy who did review it gave it a 4.1 out of 5 and said that it pours rather hazy. If this is a wheat IPA, I imagine that it would be.
Yeah, yeah.
This is
Maybe
almost like a
it might
Hefeweizen
take on a
IPA.
Hefeweizen
And he said it
personality.
does have grapefruit. Tony read on here that there's quite a, let's see, it's Imperial Wheat IPA brewed celebration of Indiana's bicentennial year. Sun King Canvitational. 18th
Invitation.
Sun features a bouquet of crystal, cascade, and mosaic hops for a bold citrusy flavor, and Indiana wheat for body and balance. So
I like those hops.
I'm
I mean,
saying,
those
this,
those are hops that we
and that is one
frequently.
really interesting can. I mean,
Yeah,
seriously, that is a lot of interesting artwork
that's
going on
serious
there.
works of art on those
I
cans.
have to admit that the previous beers from Sun King that Chris has sent me, I've been sort of kind of wishy-washy on, but I'm hoping that maybe with an 18th Street collaboration, this will be a little more to our liking. So
Yeah,
I say, hell, let's just crack this bad boy open, hand it to the guy who does the better job pouring,
I think we want.
and
I think the nation wants to see more.
no,
No,
nobody does. Nobody does.
no. Comment. I want to see Chris pour a beer next
I
time.
want to watch somebody who can't do it as well, please.
Well, there,
If
there,
that
come,
means
there
if
comes
that
a
means
certain
something to
entertainment
you,
value to this too. I mean, we are here to entertain.
true.
So I don't know. I think I want to watch you like pour it everywhere, and it gets all over the floor and down your shirt and
I'm like, remember
tangled up in your chest hair.
Airplane, he has a drinking problem. He pours,
You have a
drinks on
pouring
his
problem.
shoulder. Well, I have a pouring problem. I mean,
Real quick, love that smell.
oh yeah, that's some serious hops.
Yeah, this is like a hot bomb.
My only
Put it
regret
out
is
for
that
your.
the Beer Advocate didn't list an IBU; it just had the ABV. So I would love to know the IBU, but I'm
Yeah,
getting the feeling that we're not going to be disappointed with the bitterness of this.
exactly.
I
Yeah,
think
with that trifecta of hops, especially the Mosaic, I've always, for some reason, they just seem to stand out to me a little bit more than other.
now this is not as cloudy
Not as
as
cloudy as I
the Beer
thought.
Advocate reviewer would have you.
It's very
At
Pilsner
least this
looking,
one
actually.
isn't. Yeah, lots and lots of carbonation.
Yep.
This
Very
is yeah,
Pilsner-ish.
except for the color. The color's a little more golden than a
Tiny,
Pilsner, but
tiny bit shade, couple shades darker than the Pilsner, but it really does remind me of maybe a pale ale or I don't know.
no, I see the lager like you're talking about. I mean, I can see the lager qualities like that,
Yeah.
like a Pilsner. It's
Of
just
course, I have
a little
sun
bit.
from my angle.
Uh,
From my angle, this direction is the sunlight is
but that is a
perfect.
lot of carbonation. That
Oh
is
yeah,
some
very much so.
serious carbonation still going on.
Wonderful smell. Just
Oh yeah, yeah. If you're a hop lover, this is This is quite a smell.
And that little element of wheat is there on the nose
That's
too.
true. Yeah, it definitely. For those of you who might be from my hometown or are able to get my hometown's beer of Boulevard,
Sorry.
I am definitely smelling. You know the smell of Boulevard's unfiltered wheat. Imagine that overly hopped. That's what I'm getting out of this.
That's a fair comparison. Very, just what you'd expect. I mean, it's just hops, man. You're just getting the hops like, not so much piney.
No, no.
Maybe more of like a.
Citra on the mosaic. I'm
I think
definitely
it would.
smelling the
Yeah,
mosaic.
I think it's gonna lean more toward your fruit with a peel of some kind. You know, tangerine, apricot. Maybe not apricot because apricot's a little more sour. But yeah, peach or yeah.
Shall we?
Let's quit talking
Let's
about
go.
it. I'm
Let's
just
get to
trying.
drinking some beer.
It's got a sharp bite to it. Like right when you take that first sip, it's got a real good bite. It's like an awesome bite.
It's got a very high mouthfeel.
It does. It's rich.
And
it's an Imperial, so
it's a little creamy.
Yeah.
Even.
Yeah.
Every once and again, you do get that IPA that's sort of creamy. Where, well, I'd say the 120 or even the 90.
Right.
I'd say the 90 actually. Even more than the 120 is the really creamiest of the IPAs, and this is kind of reminiscent of that in terms of its creaminess.
Yeah.
This is a good beer.
This is a great beer. I'm loving the bitterness. It's almost bordering on alcoholic bitterness. I don't want to. It's not overly alcohol heavy or anything like that. It's just that the bitterness itself almost comes across as like if you were just smelling vinegar straight out.
We got to have like at least 90 IBUs.
Yeah. This is intense. Yeah. This is my kind of IPA because I am for the double IPAs and the Imperial IPAs. This is marked as an Imperial, and it's every bit. It's every bit of an Imperial.
Actually, if you go to Beer Advocate, it says Imperial/double American IPA.
Exactly, and it's following through. It's a fantastic beer. If you're an IPA lover, you are gonna. If you're a moderate IPA lover, you might not want this one unless you get 2 or 3 beers in.
The hashtag goes, IPA lovers, IPA. I don't know that this is not a beginner's IPA.
No.
I wouldn't even say this is an intermediate IPA. If you're not a fan of IPAs, don't drink this beer, seriously.
If you like the IPAs more of your session style IPAs,
there you go. Yeah.
Avoid this beer.
Avoid this one.
If you want to graduate to the next level of IPAs, like, okay, I'm ready to get into the 90 IBU ballpark, 100 IBU. Yeah, your palate's been wrecked, so now you need a stronger.
Exactly.
And now you need to just amp it up a notch. Because I think that's actually something to be said about that. When you're a fan of IPAs, and like we are, if you start going double and even triple IPAs or Imperials, and then you get offered a session and you drink it, it can still be a very delicious beer, but it does not have the same effect that you get accustomed to as you become more and more of a savvy toward double IPAs, Imperial IPAs. This is a IPA lover's IPA. This is a intense IPA.
It is, and this is some serious carbonation. I've still got lots and lots and lots of bubbles coming up. I mean, the manipulation on this is very strong.
Exactly. It is. Great color.
And
the foam, the head is
you can see there's
what you'd
some
expect from an
lacing
Imperial
there.
IPA.
For an 8.7 ABV, that's pretty decent lacing, actually, at that level. That's more like you would expect from a 9 or even a 10. Right. So yeah, this is just all around a great beer.
It's a wallop, pox a wallop for
sure. And so far we've had 3 of the 4 beers that Chris sent, and we're digging. I'd say probably this one the most.
I would
say
so.
Last week's Russian Imperial Stout from Flat 12 Beer Works was good, and I liked it a lot. But I got to say this one I like even better.
I agree. I think we've had 2. Well, 2 weeks ago we had the holiday ale,
holiday ale,
which was also part of the package you received from Indiana.
Beers,
and that one fell flat. We both were basically repulsed by that beer. Sorry.
Yeah.
But then, like last week, like you said, the Russian Imperial Stout was fantastic. This beer is marvelous. It's marvelous.
This would get a 4.25, but because it is in a can, I'm going to give it that extra 0.25 and give it a 4.5.
Wow, that's high for you.
And especially for a Sun King beer, because I have to admit, Chris has sent other Sun King beers, and I've not been overly impressed with them. Not that I hated him, I just wasn't really that impressed with anything I'd had from Sun King.
Right.
The Ring of Dingle in particular, we were very disappointed with it. Well, not very disappointed. It was very disappointing because we were expecting something extraordinary, and it was just
And
kind
you
of
can blame
okay.
the hype for that.
So yeah,
That was
exactly.
just people talking that put it up on the pedestal.
But
We enjoyed the beer, but it wasn't worthy of
18th
the
Sun, that's what it looks like. You can see
good
here.
stuff.
Brewed once, so I don't know that if you're not in Indianapolis, Chicago area, you may not have a whole lot of luck finding this.
Yeah.
And in fact, it even goes so far as to say fresh local beer. So maybe this didn't get very far outside of the Indiana market, and because it was brewed for the Indiana Bicentennial.
For a special occasion, right? Plus, it was canned in September. Here we are, late February, and it's probably just not available until just at all now.
Yeah, it may not be.
Maybe it's in the discount racks at the stores in the
it's possible,
Indianapolis area right
hell,
now.
maybe the guys who come in and buy it and age it and stick it away bought cases of it, and that was that. So,
oh, pardon me.
But,
Bodily functions for you, everybody.
But once again, thank you, Chris.
Yes,
this
Chris.
was a great beer.
Thank you. Great.
And
yes.
two out of three we're really, really digging, and I've got good.
We still got one more to go.
We have one more to go. It's it's an Irish Red from Tin Man, which is one of my variety I like, but Tony doesn't care too much for.
But because Tin Man has impressed me every time I've had Tin Man, I've got high hopes.
That's just it. Yeah, everything from Tin Man has been great. Yep. And I don't know who the Sun King Seamer is, but they're even better than the Beer Works Seamer. There's almost no roughness to this at all. But just to show you, and even to show you down here, if you can see it in the camera, I don't know, but see that little notch right there? That's the actual seaming coming together. My point being, you don't have to have the kind of seamer that InBev can afford in order to start doing beers. One of our favorite brewery, Tenaya Creek, now has cans. Seamers are out there; they're getting better all the time, and honestly, this is one of those things where Americans are behind everybody else. Seriously, in Asia and Europe, you're seeing more and more canned beers, and you're seeing more and more boxed wines from Asia and Europe. It's here in America we have this idea that a canned beer or a boxed wine automatically means crap. Right. But the truth of the matter is this cuts down on waste, it cuts down on spoilage, it cuts down on spillage, it cuts down on breakage, and therefore saves everybody, including the consumer, actually money in the long run. It really does. If you think those broken bottles of beer that get broken on a boat ride from the English Channel over to here don't cost you, the American consumer, money when you go to buy that bottle, think again. It does cost money. So I guess I'll step down from my soapbox and
what's weird is we're in my garage and I don't even have a soapbox in here. I just happened to find one.
It's a pretty utilitarian garage, but we don't have a soapbox.
Did you drive over and bring a soapbox?
Tony's got a hammer and probably a drill and Christmas decorations, but no soapbox. Yeah. So I see we're closing in on almost 14 minutes.
By the time this airs, we're going to be like right on the hinge of spring training, man. We're going to have
that's true.
The Boston Red Sox and Detroit Tigers will be already taking part in spring training, and baseball season is so close. Oh, so close. And then we'll go back to featuring our complaints or ravings about our teams. Mm-hmm. And really quick, I should have mentioned this last week. As a Tiger fan, for all of you out there who are from Michigan or appreciate the history of Michigan, or are a Detroit Tigers fan or a Detroit Red Wings fan, or even a Little Caesars Pizza fan, the passing of Mike Ilitch. He was the longtime owner of my Tigers and my Red Wings, and I'm getting a little choked up even talking about him. He was a hell of an owner for us fans in Detroit. So, yep, he'll be missed.
And a true gentleman.
Awesome guy. So to Mike Ilitch, really quick, to Mike Ilitch, and to your slogan. A quick sip, and then your catchphrase.
Well, you have to be cheery. You gotta have a sip for Mike.
To Mike Ilitch.
Until next time, drink good beer. Don't break the bank doing it.
Don't break the bank doing it.
And cheers.
And that's my translation.